Hello guys, it's Dual Manji here, and today I thought I would give you a guide for Tekken Tuesday, but I want to put a twist on it. Today, I'm going to rate each and every stance that Yoshimitsu has to see which one is the best. By the end of this video, you may agree, you may disagree. It's all playstyle wise, but if you do agree, then you're based. I just recorded the entire audio and the entire thing just to realize that I had left the audio in from the clips that I was reacting to say it, and now I had to restart. Anyways, let's get right into the video. Now the first stance we're going to talk about is Kincho, my personal favorite stance. Why did I hit my personal favorite stance is 1+2. You can move forward in this stance, and if you hold down, you cancel it into a crouching state. It also is a parry at the very start of it. Kincho 1-1 is a mid-string, and no sword stance, this move does get a health recovery buff and does chip on block. Kincho 2 is a launcher, but Kincho 2 1+2 is a launcher hit confirm if you hold the 1+2. In no sword stance, it gets buffed to do this. That hurts. Kincho 3 is a low, that guarantees a follow-up. Kincho 4 is a high. It's the same move as sidestep 4. You can also be cancelled into Kincho and into meditation. Kincho 1+2 is a mid. Kincho 1+4 is a flash, but this flash comes out at 10 frames rather than 6. It gets even slower if you're in no sword stance, where it comes out at 12 frames, slower than our 2 jab. Kincho down 1 is no longer cancelable, but it's still a good low. Kincho forward 1 is a mid that you can hold. This move does go from safe to punishable the longer you hold it. But in no sword stance, it does chip on block and regens health. Give me all that health. Kincho forward 2 is our high. Forward 2 still on block, does wall crush. One of the best launchers. Back 2-1. This move has two purposes, and now tornadoes launched opponents. Feels so weird not saying screw anymore. And Kincho back 1+2 is an evasive unblockable. Kincho up 1+2 is our dragonfly cancel. Now moving on, we got meditation. In my previous guide for stances, I've said that this stance doesn't have a lot of options. And it still doesn't. It literally is the same thing. We have 3, which is a backhand spring that is a launcher, but it's pretty hard to get. And we have 1+2, which gives us more health. And we still have meditation canceling that does make this stance just a little bit better. Me personally, it's still hard to do. Flee, down 1+2. I love this stance. You can cancel this stance with back down. If you hit 1 in flee, you will roll forward and it will leave you in a crouching state. 2 is a sliding headbutt, which is a low. 3 or 4 make you move left or right. 1+2 is a high launcher. It does tornado airborne opponents. 3+4 is a kangaroo kick, which is a launching mid. Forward is a running attack. And down is Flea Digger, which allows us to duck moves. Something interesting about this is if you press down during certain attacks, it actually lowers where you are, making it so that you can actually avoid certain attacks. Flea can also cancel into Indian stance with down 3+4, but basically every stance can cancel into another stance. With up 1+2, it can cancel into Dragonfly. With up 3+4, you still have the strong mid. Now this wouldn't be called Flea stance if you couldn't jump around like one. You can jump forward, up, and back, and it is unblockable. Flee step is triggered when you move forward or back, and during flee step, if you press 3, you get a hit confirm grab. And if you press 4 during it, you do a sliding low. That does counter hit knockdown, but it's not really that useful. Down 3+4 is Indian stance. Once again, the healing on this stance will not go past your recoverable health. 1 will perform an unblockable. 2 will perform a mid, and if you spam 2, you will do the entire string. 3+4 is a mid tornado launcher. And 4 is a low. 1+2 will cancel into flee stance. 3+4 is actually slide 3-4, which can still also cancel into helicopter stance or dragonfly stance, as some people call it. The game calls it that. Forward and back will teleport you behind your opponent in proximity. Now if you hold down 3+4 when going into the stance, you can move around freely like so. And from the stance, if you press up 1+2, you'll go into helicopter stance. Moving on to the next stance, we have no sword stance. It's just a few moves that are highlighted here, like 2-1, which becomes a knockdown. 3-1+2. I mean, look at that damage. Flash 1+4. It does come out slower at frame 8, but it does launch, which makes the trade-off a lot better. Down 1+4. Down back 1 for a down jab. Up back 1+2. Up 1+2. Forward 1+3. While rising 2-1-2. And while rising 2-1-3. A few more interesting changes are while crouching, hold down forward 1-2, and while crouching down forward 3, becoming a launcher. Let's go, we're finally onto helicopter stance. Again, helicopter stance, up 1+2. This stance is pretty juicy, I'm not gonna lie. We got 1. We have 2-3, which is a tornado launcher, and 3, which is a counter hit low launcher. Which is good because we no longer have our 4, which is our heat burst, but does not counter hit launch anymore. We also have 1+2, which cancels into flee. 3+4, which is a command grab, which is a high, which you cannot break. 4-2 for plus frames, and it's a high. And forward 1+2, which is -2, but honestly, that's probably more plus than we probably ever needed to be. I don't know, is that it? Are we moving on to the tier list? Oh, we also have down 3+4. Let's go into the tier list. Now personally, out of all these stances, Kincho is my favorite stance. I'm gonna have to put this one S tier just because I might actually put it down to A tier just because it lost some of the tools that it used to have. It did get a new move, but the new move isn't exactly there for us just yet. The helicopter stance is stronger, and I do see myself using it a whole lot more now that it has a great pressure tool. But pretty soon people are going to catch on, and this stance is going to be kind of mid. And ducking helicopter stance isn't really anything out of the ordinary. Oof. Indian stance did get better. I'll say Indian stance did get better with the inclusion of slide 3-4 inside of it, but does that make it good enough? I honestly think that this is C tier. We still have very slow options out of it. I'm gonna put this stance C tier, and you're gonna see why in a second. Now flee stance, I think it's probably up there. Yeah, B tier, because it does have a new transitional tool. It is pretty good, and it has some use that we are still even figuring out right now. And the worst stance, I probably have to say, has to be this. I'm gonna do a little bit of rearranging because I personally think that Kincho is S tier, but if I was to put one into A tier, what would it be? I'd have to say helicopter stance. I think that's my final list. If you guys agree, then let me know, but I think this is my final tier list right here. Tell Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Did I do a good job on this video? If you're liking the content, please give it a like. Subscribe if you already aren't. And if you want me to react to your clips, join the Discord below. And I'm out of here. Peace.